Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brand new flashback card from NHL 20 added into NHL 23. We are going to break that down, go over all the ins and outs of how the card works, how you can acquire all of that, as well as some new content that has some pretty big X Factor implications from the Nations of Hockey event. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. It really helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. All right, let's get into it. All right, we have got to start with the 90 overall Patrick Kane from the NHL 20 Winter National event that was released into the game, much like the Teuvo Teravainen back around Halloween. This does work a little bit differently. It's more closely tied to how Drew Doughty worked from the Spotlight event, but obviously this is a flashback card that is only in packs and in sets until December 27th, so it is a very limited card, which I actually like. I think that that's a pretty cool addition to the game to make these cards a little more limited. I like the fact that you can have some flex cards, so maybe in a month, you know, people are wondering, how do I get this Patrick Kane card? It's like, well, you can't. So I do enjoy that a little bit. We're going to break down his stats, attributes, and abilities because they're actually pretty decent. All right, so here he is at 90 overall, 5'10", 177. Obviously, a little bit of a smaller build. However, he's got Distributor and Wingman, as well as Gladiator and Booming Shot. Gladiator helps out with the endurance, as well as his body checking up a little bit, but no matter what, it's still so low that it really won't matter. But it is still a good synergy to have on cards because other cards are able to benefit a little bit more from it. That being said, he's got gold elite edges. You guys know how much I've talked about elite edges so far this year, and unstoppable force, which is one of the best offensive combinations in the game currently, which makes him a lot more viable at 5'10", 177. He's got 94 speed, 95 acceleration, and 96 agility. He's also always felt a little bit better and snappier with dekes and spins and cuts and things like that, a lot like Austin Matthews in his shot and Connor McDavid in his skating. His hand stats are almost maxed, so all in all, this is a very good card. I think that, again, this is going to depend on what division you're in. Divisions 1 and 2, you're going to struggle using this card more than likely, unless Unstoppable Force really helps him out. And I'm going to have some gameplay footage for you tomorrow, because I am going to try him out to let you know if I think that maybe this helps out enough with Unstoppable Force, because he is going to get knocked off the puck without it quite easily. If you're in Division 3 and below, you more than likely spend a lot of the time going end to end, and he is really going to benefit in that. He's one of the faster cards in the game, and definitely one of the best in terms of hands. So all in all, really like this card. Love the idea of bringing back older cards from older HUT games. I can remember this event, so really nice to see Patrick Kane's Winter National card back in the game. All right, now let's talk about how you acquire this card. Well, we'll start with the the elephant in the room when it comes to acquiring this kind of card, and you can buy him. Right now, you can buy his 84 overall flashback for 65,000 coins. No way I would do this, because there's a much cheaper way if you are going to make him his 84 and build him up. You can also spend 300,000 coins or 6,000 points. There is no way I would spend $60 to get Patrick Kane, the 90 overall version. Just no way that it is worth that price, even if you spend money on the game. I have a God Squad, and there's no way I'm doing that. However, 300,000 coins isn't awful. I still don't think it's a good value at all, so don't get me wrong. But I think that it's a nice little sweet spot, I think, where if you really wanted this card because maybe you're a Chicago Blackhawk fan, maybe you like Patrick Kane, or the fact that this card is very limited because, again, after December 27th, you're not going to be able to acquire him. So just something to keep in mind. I don't think it's good value, but I don't think it's so brutal that you've got to spend $60 instead, because 300,000 coins for retro, to put it in perspective, Vrana's card right now, tradable, is going for about 280,000 coins, and they're very similar in terms of builds and card. So it's around the same. Now, obviously, this would be untradeable, but still, you got to, pay up to get a limited card, and I think that the point value, if you're going to spend money, no shot, but the coins, not off. You can also make him the normal way that you would make Master Set players in the Nations of Hockey event. If you go over here, you will see there is one where if you trade in 3, you can get a flashback Patrick Kane MSP set. You'll get the 84, and then you can work him up as you would all of the other ones. Again, I will have some footage tomorrow using him, and I'll let you know if I think that he's worth it, because that ability combo is what Gretzky has, and Gretzky has always felt a little bit worse than Mario Lemieux because of his build, and he's able to get knocked off the puck. That Wayne Gretzky for Edmonton has been one of my favorite cards this year, and he is able to hold onto the puck extremely well. So again, I want to see the ability combo in play, but I think that this Kane card might be very good, and especially with left-handed wingers, there's not a ton of great ones. At the bottom end, there's a couple. I just did my best cards for each position, and honestly, Lucas Reichel was kind of the fourth one that I would show. You've got Kucherov, a lot of cards that are similar, so this Patrick Kane can probably be one of your better cards. Also, want to mention one more thing. It does not count towards the objectives for Nations of Hockey. A lot of people were complaining about that in my chat. I need to just point this out, guys. He's not a Nations of Hockey card. He's a Winter National Flashback card, so he's not from this event. I know that it costs Nations of Hockey collectibles to make him, but he's not actually from this event, so just something to keep in mind if you were planning on using him to get more Nations of Hockey collectibles. It won't work, unfortunately. On to today's releases from the Nations of Hockey event. We've got the 85 John Klingberg, always one of the better cards on defense. He's got Protector, which helps out his low body checking a little bit, 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 88 agility. This is one of the better mid-tier cards. If you are no money spent and you're trying to find a defenseman, very, very good option for you. I used his team of the week on my no money spent team for quite some time. This is definitely a card that I would go after if you are looking for someone that isn't a master set player that won't go for all that much. Very good card. Next, we've got the 85 John Gibson, 6'2" with butterfly effect, one of the better abilities for goaltenders, but as you've seen throughout my videos and just kind of my take on goaltender this year, it's absolutely broken in and around the nets. So no goaltender is really going to be the end-all be-all. However, he does look half decent in terms of stats, but more than likely better options in terms of just like Matt Murray or Mikko Koskinen's 84, or even Gudlevsky's if you really want to spend, but none of them are worth it, honestly. So if he works for you, then use him. Zegras gets an 88 with Thief and Elite Edges, and honestly, not a bad card. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 92 agility, and Thief, which is a very, very good synergy. 90 shots. His hand stats are great. This is actually like a much cheaper version of the Patrick Kane card, but low-key, this is a reason why, you know, X factors for some of those non-team of the year guys are not really worth it, because you can go and get this 88 for like 80k as opposed to spending all the collectibles and things to get his X factor up, when this is actually just a really good card all on its own. Mikko Rantanen gets an 89 overall from Finland, 6'4" with Magician, which helps out his hand stats even more, and Elite Edges. This is a meta card, higher division, ability to hold on to the puck and make those moves with Elite Edges. This could be a sneaky good card for anyone that's in the high division play, or if you play Hut Champs. He's very, very good at holding onto the puck at 6'4", and again, Elite Edges would be a nasty combo. Magician is one of the better synergies, in my opinion, after the skating ones, just because it hits all of the three attributes that help with deking, and I think it's way more impactful than like Dangle City, for example, which is one of the worst, to be honest with you. And then lastly, we've got the 90 Cale Makar with Gladiator and Unstoppable Force, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, and agility. Very, very good card. I'm curious to try out Unstoppable Force on a defenseman, but again, it might be a really nice combo, because Cale Makar is the type of defenseman where you want to break the puck out with him. You get the puck below your net, and you just want to beeline, straight line down the boards, or crisscross, things like that. Unstoppable Force could really help out cards like that, especially if you work it around to the point. This would be one I would love to try, but his X Factor is one of the better ones because he's guaranteed a Team of the Year, and there's going to be some sort of trade-in, I would have to assume, for his X Factor, but nonetheless, this looks like a really nasty card. We'll take a look if there's any on the market right now. There is one. Start price of 300k. I'm not going to spend that, but if he's in around like 150, 200 even, like, this is a pretty good card. His X Factor had a brutal upgrade, and this is a perfect example of why X Factors end up being a really bad investment when you have one that is not one of the better ones that you can turn into Team of the Year. As we'll take a look, when he goes to tier 8 and 90 overall, he does not go up speed or acceleration, and he gets Send It, which is one of the worst abilities in the game. And it's going to cost you 3 power-up collectibles. So I would pass on doing this. I would take my time, not really rush out. There's really no need to go up +1 and everything else and not skating. And Send It again, you're not going to activate. So rough upgrade there, but he's still one of the best right-handed defensemen in the game. Taking a peek at some of the prime times, David Pastrnak gets an 89, so he has now got a new upgrade tier for his X Factor. Dangle City, again, not a huge fan of that at all. Schneip has been good. I've noticed it on my no money spent team. I've had Pastrnak since the launch of the game. So his X Factor now goes up another tier to 89 overall. Does go up speed as well, and I believe he gets he already has Fly the Zone, so he's got 94 speed there. Very good card. It reminds me of like a right-handed version of Dylan Larkin, and then that gold Schneip I have enjoyed. The one thing I will say is that his agility is really low, so you have to, you know, straight line or come out from the corner, like from left to right, not try to curl or anything like that. I haven't noticed it as much as I thought I would. Still a really, really good card. Not an X Factor I would upgrade, though. Like, not one that outside I'm showing you guys on no money spent, but not one I would recommend. Adam Fox also goes up to 89. Just essentially a little bit worse skating Cale Makar, and that one's pretty rough. Again, he's not going to bump anyone off the puck. Tape to tape is not very good at all. Great skater, though. Reminds me a lot of Panarin, just going to get bumped off the puck and not really great defensively. Taking a look at his X Factor, gold tape to tape and send it are just whatever. Silver Elite Edges is nice, but he does not have a skating synergy yet. So again, just not one that I would recommend upgrading. All right, guys, that is going to do it for all of the content today. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.